on this next slide is a way of articulating, I hope, how an apprenticeship works, and it's important to understand this. So the first thing to understand is that it is about the job that you're doing, and this is this point about there needs to be a natural match, not a perfect match, but a natural match between the job role that you are in and the standard, and that's one of the things that we want to really get right for you. We are defined by the standard, so that's why it's such an important part of this, and we can't. You're moving on too quickly. Sorry there, John. There's a funding cap, so it's not a free-for-all. There is this levy pot waiting there, but actually the rules are that we can only go up to a certain level to fund the training. We wish that it was different, but we have to work within that, and you will be as familiar with us on all this sort of this dimension of it, but of course there are rules and regulations about what can be included in that and how an apprenticeship needs to work. And it is all aimed at this endpoint assessment, something like a cross between your driving test and an extended interview for a job. But at the end of that, someone who is independent from the whole process up until now will want to look at your portfolio that you've built up through time, will want to make sure that you really understand the role and that you've got examples of where you've put that into practice and show where you've learned and improved and got better. And that's the point at which you get your apprenticeship. And you can get it you can pass it, you can fail it, you can also get merit, and you can also get distinction. So there's a real chance to shine there. And we think that this increasingly is going to be an important thing to have on your CV, particularly populated as it will be with the CIPD qualification as well. And the real kind of art to making this apprenticeship sing for you and really turbocharge your career is using the jobs, the stuff that you do day to day, represented here by these red lozenges, is using that as the learning opportunity. So actually this is something that you're doing because it's part of your job, you're doing it because your line manager is asking you to, but you've flipped it and you're saying, actually this is an opportunity for me to learn and to develop how I work. And then moving on to the next key element of this, and this is where the reflection comes in, because I think those of you who are reflecting every week or every day, hopefully this will be really natural for you. But for those of you, the majority of you for whom that's not the case, the apprenticeship requires you every week to just capture might be as little as 5 bullet points, what you've learned that week and what you want to learn next week. And then you can track that and get into the habit of reflecting on the work that you are doing, what you are learning, how you're getting better, maybe some of your frustrations, maybe the things that you aren't getting to, that you want to get to. That's a hard habit to do. And so the apprenticeship also comes with a learning and development coach, someone who is an HR expert, who's been there, done that themselves, but also understands how to get you through not just this experience, but also make sure you get the best out of the qualifications that sit on top, and make sure you fly through that endpoint assessment. And they're there on a regular basis, but they're there available when you need them, on a little and often basis to share thoughts with them, to say, I've done this, here's what I did, how's that looking, is it looking good? And these people are a really crucial part of your experience. And then we get to the jewels in the crown, as it were, which is the CIPD qualifications represented by these lozenges here, which happen at key stages through the program. We deliver those actually online, and that is, but you're not on your own online, you're part of a cohort, there are live classes. It's like you are in a classroom, it's like you're in a breakout group, it's just you're doing it through an online platform. So, you know, if you're worried about having to get up at 5 in the morning to make the training centre at 9 o'clock and worried about being knackered, or worried about getting home at the end of the day for childcare, actually the flexibility that this builds into your experience is a really important part of that. On top of that, of course, you know, you get great training as well from the civil service. That happens as well, and that is woven into the apprenticeship program. So your reflective learning journal should be including everything you're learning. Your learning and development coach will be looking at all the training that you're getting and helping you to make sense of that and apply it in the workplace. And as Caroline mentioned already, you get access to this fabulous community, this CIPD community, and so that is where all of you can go above and beyond, and that's where you can extend yourself to go further.